Welcome to Shrimperscast with me, Steve Mansfield.
And me, Paul Hill. On today's show,
unbelievable unbeaten run continues with 2 wins on the road against Wealdstone and Fylde.
It's 15 unbeaten for King Kev and his battalion of Blue Boys.
Ron moves the goalposts yet again as the council schedule a cabinet meeting to move the land transaction forward.
And we preview Southend's improbable playoff push as 4 teams battle for the last playoff place.
Hello everyone and welcome to probably the penultimate episode of Shrimperscast for this season. I'm sat here with Paul Hill. Paul, how you doing, mate?
Ahoy! How we doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. All good. How have you been this week, Paul?
Busy.
Yeah,
as usual. Season's coming to an end, so we're doing all of our last club events. Yeah. All around the country. We've got a couple of bangers lined up and going to Bournemouth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, is it the Vitality Stadium?
It is. Yeah. Posh down there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, very nice.
Very nice.
But then I'm off to QPR after that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to end the season with a 2-dayer, hopefully, at Roots Hall with Southend United.
Oh, amazing.
And then the national charity one will hopefully be at Arsenal. So, Not bad, is it?
Not bad.
Not
Such a jet setter, Paul.
Yeah.
Such a jet setter. As you say, the season's coming to an end for your work, but the season is also coming to a crescendo for Southend United. And it seems unbelievable to say it. And it's very highly unlikely, which we'll come on to in a bit. But the playoffs are still a possibility, despite everything that's been thrown at this team. You know, the transfer embargo, the 10-point deduction, everything been stacked against them, fielding, 12, 13 players, 2 players on the bench at times. Absolutely unbelievable that they are still coming into the final game of the season, potentially, depending on other results. But they may still be
in with a shout.
So today's show is going to be a short mini one. We don't have a guest on today's show, but we've got plenty to talk about. So we've got 2 away games to go over.
Yep.
Wealdstone and Fylde, both of them good wins for Southend. We've also got a special edition of Paul's Previews where we're going to go over all the permutations as it stands ahead of Halifax's midweek game. So we're going to get onto that later. We're not going to spend too much time on that now, but you must be pretty pleased with this season.
Well, yes, unbelievable, isn't it? Considering everything that's been going on. To be where we are, slightly out of our hands. It just kind of makes those little draws and then 1-0 defeats a little bit more niggly, doesn't it? But, it cues it up nicely. I still think we're going to win the league next season if we don't make the playoffs. But, it's one of those ones, isn't it? When it's so close. I was an absolute fan yesterday. And they brought back Shaq Coulhurst. He was on loan. So and he had a stormer to begin with. Absolutely really had a good game of it away at Halifax. And you think, it's on. But then you forget about the other teams around them, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then when you think, it's odd because 4 or 5 can go down.
Yeah.
And 4 of us can still make the playoffs.
Yeah.
What a league. Balmy.
What a league. Very competitive. And just it stayed interesting all the way through, hasn't it? But like I say, amazing achievement. Kevin Mayer, take your hat off, son, and all the players, absolutely fantastic. So, brilliant stuff. So let's deal with the games that have just happened first, as we usually do.
Yep.
Wealdstone away, Paul.
Yeah.
How was it?
All right, the journey up there wasn't too bad, and it's not really that much of an effort really from Southend. You know what I mean? Bang into London, and then on the old Metropolitan line straight up into Ruislip, and had a little walk around there. It was quite nice.
Lovely.
Weren't too bad, but got into the ground. But do you know what the ground reminded me of? Right, if you were to put up 4 scaffold stands round the pitch at Southend Manor, stick in a couple of portaloos with a Beryl and Bob's burger van, bosh, there we are. That is it.
Beryl and Bob's burger van, bosh.
Yeah, done. That's what it felt like. But it was quite a nice little ground. You're really close to the pitch.
Yeah.
But and first half, we just went at them. We should have been 1 or 2 up. Ralphie was having a blinder. He got his goal, but he could have had a couple in that match. Missed a couple of chances. Well, there was a few went to begging. They got a corner, and they just like hit it in there. It just bounced around, and I think it was Dooku just literally span and smashed it in from about 4 yards.
Right.
Ran off, and then there you go, you're 1-0, and you're thinking, here comes coming towards the ends, and we were there in massive numbers.
Yeah.
So much so they had to open the other half of the ground. So yeah, we literally took over half their ground, and they didn't give out the away attendance because maybe we put them to shame a little bit, because they, but it was
outnumbered the home fans.
We did massively outnumber the home fans, and it was a great turnout. But yeah, we got to 1-1, and it wasn't too bad at all. And Ralphie getting his goal, pretty damn good. So we got in half time 1-1, and then second half, obviously their manager's gone. They're fighting down there, and you thought, they're going to give it a bit. They did a little bit, but we kind of weathered it, and then we just turned it on, and it was just one way all the way. And then Miley, we were talking about him coming back to his best. What a goal from Miley.
Yeah.
Yeah, in midfield, didn't really have much going on, so he stepped in towards the centre, took a few paces, 20 yards out, boom, bottom corner.
Lovely.
Screamer.
Lovely.
But everyone played well. I mean, the work rate of Cardwell, I thought, at Wealdstone was second to none. He was literally like a man possessed, charging everything down, like really putting a shift, Cardwell did. And Waldron as well, up top, really pressing them hard. I thought that was really impressive. And when you're that close to the pitch and you can hear them all talking and them really going at it, you knew they were putting the effort in. It was a really good shift. So, yeah, job done. Come away with the 3 points. Ready for the monster trip up north to Fylde.
Well, just sticking with the Wealdstone game for a minute.
Yeah,
so nice to see two goal scorers that aren't normally on the score sheet. I know they've probably both got a couple of goals this season, I want to say, just from memory.
Not many at all.
So good to see goals coming from other areas. But Danny Waldron, again, had another good game, effective, right? Creating a lot of chances.
Yeah. He could have had a few more. He could have scored, and very lively, chasing down a lot up top, been put through a couple of times, and you can see the quality's there with him.
Yeah.
It just needs, I think, I keep saying it, give him that full pre-season.
Yeah.
Get and him and Cardwell at the top.
Yeah.
We're looking at 40 goals here.
Yeah,
what I'm going to put the neck out. What a pair. We're looking 20 goals each. There we go. I've said it.
And they complement each other as well, don't they?
Very much so.
Cardwell's probably a bit more of a hold-up man, and Waldron is a bit more of a sort of turn on the spin, looking for it being played in behind. So,
uses pace to trouble people. I mean, there was Wealdstone, we were dropping some absolute clangers and giving the ball away in cheap areas, and we just were switched on, attacked them, and off we went. And it could have been more, but on another day it would have been. But they are, they do say, can you do it on a cold Tuesday, windy night in Wealdstone? Yes, we can.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. The next game was another away tie, away at Fylde. Like you say, a massive old trip up north.
Yeah, what a boot that was.
Another good result.
I didn't go. Did you go?
No, I didn't go.
No.
I'll tell you who else didn't go.
Who didn't go?
Here's some news.
Breaking news.
Pip
Did he
didn't
not
go.
Oh, what's that?
I'm calling him out for being a plastic fan. Plastic Pip. It's the first away. He didn't give me a reason. I just contacted him and said,
I think I've seen somewhere that he's moving house or something.
All right.
Well, we'll let him off. I
thought you were going to tell me he's had some really bad news then. I was going to feel awful. But no, he's moving house, so he's he's busy. But look, if Pip didn't make it, it must have been a fair old trek. But another great result from the boys. 2-1 win. 3 more points in the bag. This run has just gone on and on and on.
It has, indeed.
So, yeah.
But Waldron, again, first half, he could have had about 4 goals in the first half when looking at the highlights. Again, playing really, really well, getting to the right areas, but he just couldn't put that in. I mean, the one ball that I think it might have been the second or third shot, he's put the ball through, you think it's going in, it's creeping towards the goal line, the keeper gets back and spoons it out. But there was a great move, I see, for the goal for the first one, where he actually got his goal, finally. Great work, again, from Kensdale and Taylor, Coker and Scott Morris, all involved, because then Taylor crosses it in, and there he is to nod it in for 1-0 Southend.
Beautiful.
Yeah, not bad. And then, obviously, who else? Cards getting another goal.
How many has he got now for the season?
Oh, do you know what? It's 18th now, was that his 18th?
It might be more than that.
Might be 19th. Oh,
I'm checking. Oh, no, it is 18.
There
18.
He's 18th for the season, yeah.
Stato knows, I shouldn't have questioned it.
Absolutely. But yeah, again, sending the away support in Doolally, so much so that we had a conga going on.
Nice.
Yeah, the away day conga. Final day of the season dance-off. But the file boss was very complimentary about Southend, and even though he said they weren't at the races and all of this stuff, right? You know, the usual managerial nonsense. But we again taking it on now to extend that unbeaten run. Can we finish against Rochdale unbeaten
with another game?
Well, we need the win.
We do. Sorry, I said it was 2-1 against Fylde. It wasn't. I was getting confused with the Wealdstone game. It was 2-0. A great result for the boys.
Yeah, 100%. And another absolutely great effort there, you know. So, yes, I've had a monster day at work. I've come straight out of work, right? 5 o'clock into a driving lesson because I've got my driving test next Wednesday.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
okay, well, good luck for that, mate.
Yeah, well, I've come straight out, right? And then, I'm here with you now at 7, so I was driving lesson 5 to 7, 7 o'clock here to record. I've turned my phone on, and in our little Southend United supporters group, 64 messages, right? So, what is going on? What on earth has happened?
I can sort of tell you in layman's terms, Paul. I'm not an expert. I always get a bit nervous about this sort of stuff because, you know, it's kind of council stuff and, all official words and all bits and pieces. But it's related to a cabinet meeting that's been called on the 29th of April at Southend Council to discuss the land transaction related to Fossets Farm.
Nice.
No, it's not nice because it has the potential to be basically a bit of a banana skin from what we're reading. So it looks like the council are having to debate a proposal, I think, from the Martins that essentially would see them take more money, more profit from the development, which would put the rents that they are going to charge for the council housing that Southend Council really need at 20% above the current highest rates for the local authority housing rates. So essentially, the council are being pushed here. I think it looks like Ron Martin and Jack are using a bit of leverage here because they know how desperate the council are to kind of keep the club alive. At the same time, they need their housing and they can't be seen to be pushovers at the council. They've got to kind of treat everyone fairly. I guess there's another implication that perhaps by allowing that to happen, that could set a precedent for other people that have council housing developments, and they could then propose to charge higher rents, and that could push up rents across the whole borough, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of implications here. So it looks like Ron is gambling again that he can get away with it, playing on that sort of goodwill at the council because the council don't want to be seen to be the ones that let Southend United die. That said, who knows? Whoever's on the council might decide, actually, no, we're not playing this game. And, we could be back in a tricky situation, back to winding up orders, etc., etc., etc. So that's my take on it. Like I say,
unbelievable.
I'm not an expert on this, but there is a cabinet meeting on the 29th of April where this will all be discussed.
Unreal. So not only not happy with just destroying the football club, he now wants to literally doing the people that live here and all that can't afford to live here because he's going to drive the rents up. What an absolute flannel in his to be. Oh my goodness me! I will be glad to see the back of this man and his family when this is all over. I mean, I'm speechless.
Yeah,
that's just. You would have thought he would be doing everything he possibly could.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? To get the club sold over the line. Aid the city. His legacy is going to be one that is going to be buried or thrown off the end of the pier.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it, that he has no scruples whatsoever, no normal kind of moral compass that most people would have in this situation. The fact that it's a football club, that it's a community asset, doesn't even register. It's all about
money.
Money, and what can we squeeze out of it to finance what. We assume, although we don't, this is not confirmed, but we assume his personal finances are probably not the most healthy, and there's a lot of debt and a lot of money been borrowed, so he's trying to squeeze as much out of it as he can.
Well, we knew this was going to get messy. There was going to be more twists and turns, and I probably think there's going to be a lot more coming as well in the coming months over the summer, where we should be looking forward to transfers coming in, the development of the new stadium, the training ground and everything else. And
well, the date of May the 15th, I think it was given by Ron or his people as to the date they expect the transaction to have finally gone through. The consortium is still around, Justin is still around. So I think they're still hopeful, but it's just things like this that just,
Well,
set everyone chattering and set
yeah.
everyone worrying because of the precedent, really.
Well, let's hope the council are going to be hard negotiators with him as well and knock that down.
Yeah, not let him get away with it.
Yeah, and don't let him get away with this. And he doesn't deserve it. Yeah. We need this needs to get over. We need that roots all developed. He's holding everything up, him and the Martin family, and we just need them gone, don't we?
Yeah, indeed. So, on a cheerier note, Southend could still make it into the playoffs. So we're going to take a little bit of a break and then a little unusual intermission. But then after that, we'll be back with an extended version of Paul's previews where we'll look at the run-in and we'll see what the possible outcomes are for Southend and what has to happen in order for them to make it into the playoffs. Don't put all your money on it, whatever you do. It's very, very, very unlikely. But still, there is a chance. So we will discuss that shortly.
Way. So, Steve, I've heard a little whisper that you're coming out of retirement.
People chattering about me.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing the boots are being cleaned. The laces are going back on. What is happening?
The studs are being screwed back in.
What are you up to?
So I am playing in a charity football tournament at Roots Hall. And it's actually an event that's really close to my heart because I used to work for HARP, the homeless charity in Southend, and I set up this tournament with a guy who runs a recruitment agency called AJ Chambers. His name's Andy. Big shout out to Andy Hilliard. And his colleague Jason, actually, who kind of manages the event for them, he did the draw with Justin Rees.
Lovely.
Yeah, so shout out Justin for doing that. So there's 32 teams in a hat. Tournament's called World Cup on Sea, and it's basically a 32-team tournament, just like the World Cup, but like mini. So it's 7 aside. It's on the pitch at Roots Hall. And basically 32 teams competing against each other. You have a group stage with 4 teams, and then you go through, and it lasts all day, and it's great fun in the sun if the sun does come out. So this is a little plug for the event. I'm playing in a team called Cool Thing United, so it's Cool Thing Records, if you know.
I know them. Yeah, I went to college with a couple of them. Is that the Websters?
Yeah.
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys. We will be there flying the Cool Thing flag.
Like it.
And there'll also be 32 other teams, all like local businesses from the area and stuff. So we'll be trying to bring that trophy home.
How do you think you're going to get on then?
I think we've got a decent team, to be fair. I don't want to talk us up, but I think we'll get out of the group.
I was going to say, looking at you, mate, you could just about run a bath, let alone run around the Roots Hall pitch.
And you've just been lifting my dumbbells.
Is that what they're there for?
Yeah, I'm in training. He's just been taking the mickey out of how light my dumbbells are. So guys, the event is on Saturday the 4th of May. It's at Roots Hall. Starts about 9 o'clock, I think. And it's I think it's like a few quid on the door for adults, and kids go free. So if you are a loose end and you're missing your football come the 4th of May, get yourself down to Roots Hall, come to World Cup on the Sea, support a great local charity event. It's in aid of Great Ormond Street Hospital as well. So
love that. Guys. I'll be there. I'm going to come down.
Good stuff. Can't wait to see you there, Paul.
Nice one.
Now it's time for a very special edition of everyone's favourite part of the show,
Paul's previews.
Paul.
Hello.
The run-in. Well, not really the run-in. It's Southend's last game, but it's the run-in for, some of the teams around us who've got a couple of games to play.
Yep.
We've got the abacus out.
We've crunched the numbers.
We've got a big spreadsheet on my wall, an old-fashioned spreadsheet that you fill out with a pen.
Which we've probably done wrong.
We've probably done it wrong. We're probably going to get all of this wrong. So if we do, hit us up on the socials, tell us how stupid we are. But we're fairly sure Southend have a flicker of a hope.
Yeah, it's a very, very faint light.
Vanishingly thin chance.
But it is mathematically possible. So when there is hope, anything can happen in football. Anything can happen. And, we do need things to go our way massively.
It's not in Southend's hands, is it?
It isn't.
It's in about 20 other teams' hands.
Well, it starts tonight, doesn't it, with Aldershot are away at Gateshead.
So we're recording this on Wednesday, and there are games on Wednesday night and Thursday night in the National League before the finale on Saturday, with all the games kicking off, I think, early afternoon. Is that right?
Yeah, 12:15. Yeah.
Yeah, so early games Saturday. All games, like every league, they all play the last games all at the same time.
Yep.
So in order for Southend to be going into that home tie with Rochdale, which, let's face it, is going to be a procession anyway for Southend's players. Like, no matter the result, it's going to be a massive celebration for everyone. But in order for Southend to be going into that game with a chance of being in the playoffs, what needs to happen?
Right. Well, let's start with Halifax, shall we? They got a draw, didn't they, against Ebbsfleet?
Yeah.
0-0. Great start. So there's the point. So they are
great start for Southend.
Great start for Southend.
They dropped 2 points.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they've dropped 2 points there, meaning we're still in it. We're still in with a shout. So they're above us on with one game in hand on 67 points.
Yeah.
Right. So they've got 2 games coming up. So then they have got Oldham. Is it tomorrow? Is it the 18th tomorrow?
Yeah.
So they've got no rest at all. They've got Oldham. The best thing we need to happen there is a draw.
Because Oldham are also within touching distance of the playoffs. They're on 62 points. Southend are on 65.
Yep.
So Oldham could go level with Southend with a win tomorrow night. So we really don't want that to happen, because if that happens, then essentially Oldham could be pushing Southend right to the end.
Yep.
If Southend and Oldham both won on the last game of the season, then they'd be level on points, and Southend would probably go up, well, almost definitely go up on goal difference, because they're significantly above them. However, Aldershot are also in the mix.
Yes. So they're away, currently playing, it's kicked off at the moment, away at Gateshead. Then they've got Dagenham and Redbridge.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a very tricky game for them. So I think they've got the harder running, right? So I'm going to discount them. And I think if Oldham, we need Halifax and Oldham to draw, because Oldham have got Wealdstone.
Yeah.
Even though Wealdstone are fighting for their life down there with 3 or 4 other teams for the league status, you'd fancy Oldham at home to beat Wealdstone
on the last day.
On the last day, definitely. Whereas Halifax have got to go away to Eastleigh, and we all know that's a tough game.
And Eastleigh haters.
So
they have extra motivation.
Well, yeah, Eastleigh might throw it away and not turn up. But, it is going to be a tough game for them as well. And plus, Halifax have played like 3 games now, wouldn't they?
It'd be 3 games. It'd be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's,
plus at the weekend. So 4 games over 7 days.
That's mental, isn't it?
That is a lot.
That is a lot. So if they do clinch that last spot, you've got to say, well done to Halifax for getting there in the end.
The pressure is on them, though. Right?
It is. Pressure's off us. I mean, like you said, this has been a monumental effort of a season for us.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're even talking about this.
Yeah.
It's fantastic that we're even in this position. So if we don't go up, it doesn't matter if we don't make the playoffs, because we are going to win the title next season. However, I do like a trip to Wembley, so it would be nice.
So just to recap, if Halifax win one of their last 2 games,
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
So they have to either lose both of them, or draw one and lose one.
Yep.
If they get 2 draws, it's also all over.
Yep.
And we really don't want them to let Oldham beat them tomorrow night, because that brings Oldham into the mix, although that wouldn't be a total disaster, because Southend would probably still edge it on goal difference. Have I got that right?
Yes, yeah.
And we're discounting Aldershot because it makes it too complicated, and we're hoping that they fluff their lines.
Their lines. Well, I mean, if Aldershot win both their games, if they beat Gateshead, Gateshead are up there, they're in 5th.
Yeah.
So, Gateshead have already qualified really for the playoffs, so it's just about where do they want to finish and who do they want to dodge. Unless it's a draw, I can't remember. In the
so Aldershot would finish on 71 points, which Southend cannot get to if they won both of their games.
Yeah.
So they've got a chance of burying Southend as well.
They have as well. If they win tonight, then it's also over, I think.
Yeah. So very exciting. Keep your eyes on the scores, on the live scores. I'm sure all Southend fans are going to be paying close attention.
But, we did mention all the other teams. We need to win and all,
Yeah.
It does help.
Oh, sorry. We've not actually talked about the game that we're playing.
No, so at home to Rochdale.
Yeah.
Right? They are the draw specialists at the minute.
Right.
The last 5, they've drawn 4, lost 1.
Right.
And, we haven't lost at home since end of Feb. So I can see us really giving them a good game. Look, you've brought them up there. Look, lost 1-0, then drew 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 0-0. Rochdale were there for the taking.
Yeah.
We're going to have a full house. I think I saw online we're nearly 8,000 tickets deep.
Yeah.
So Roots Hall's going to be rocking.
Yeah.
The boys will turn up, I think, and give a real good account of themselves. We're going to go flying into this. I mean, their top man there is Cairo Mitchell. He's got 14, I think.
Yeah,
and
then you've got a couple of other players that are chipping in. They're getting goals from all over. So
we get goals from all over as well.
Yeah,
and
true.
I can't, I think it wouldn't surprise me at all if this is like going to be a 3-1 thumping, and we'll get to the 90th minute, and it will be 1-1 to, I don't know, Oldham and Wealdstone, and then Oldham will win it in the 94th minute.
It's going to be, everyone's going to be looking at their phones in Reece Hall.
Do you remember when Man United nearly won the titles at St Mary's, and they all thought they'd done it, and then Aguero went and ruined everything? I think this could be our Aguero
one of the greatest
moments
in football. Yeah, I remember it very, very well.
But
you're going to have your transistor radio, one earpiece in your ear, Paul, like the old man that you are.
Yeah, fancy. All day long, mate, all day long. But whatever happens, you can't, just not look at this season and think, what a story. Yeah. Just what an absolute story. And with the effort, the boys, and everything that they've been through, and the whole support that we've been throwing at the team home and away, and you think, well, what is it? You're never going to forget this season in a hurry, are you?
No, heroes to the last.
Man and boy.
So, on that note, massive thank you to everyone out there listening. Big thank you to you, Paul.
Oh, always a pleasure, never a chore, dear boy.
And next week, we hope to have a special episode where we're going to recap the season, and we're going to dish out our inaugural Shrimperscast awards. So we're going to go through all the players, we're going to go through the happenings of the season, and we're going to pick out some great moments. So be sure to look us up next week for that episode. And all that's left to say is massive, massive thank you to all of you out there listening, and up the blues.
Up the blues.